everyone. For some reason, and I'm checking on my computer now, for some reason, the live was not working. uh, was not working. In the other spot, hello D. I don't know why the live is not working. Um, I'm looking on my computer now. I have no idea. So, if someone could post in that chat and say um, that we're over here now instead, I am not quite sure what's going on. So, I apologize to everyone that was here waiting or that was waiting on the other side. Um, Something is just not right. Something is very strange. And I'm just pulling up so I can see. Hello, Simon. So I can see what you guys are saying on my computer. So, real quick, I will tell you guys that today was spent doing, and it's going to be shaky. I apologize, but today I spent most of the day getting the studio set up in my office set up and in our new house, which I don't know if you guys know that we've moved into a new house, so a new big office and a new store and a new house, and if anything else crazy could happen, we did it. So the new house has a big, ginormous, beautiful addition on it, and that is where my studio, as well as so we share it. Myself and Rob share it. I have more than half of the room, and he has a quarter of the room for his office. And then there's another part of the addition which is a giant closet. Someday I'll give you guys a tour of the house, but yeah. So I spent most of the day getting things together. The table will no longer be shaky after for my live on Wednesday, because I ordered my brand new big rig that goes on the ceiling, so that when the table shakes, I won't shake, or the this won't shake. So it's been yes, Belinda. A big thing for me today was I wanted to with everything that I had, I wanted to get stuff done at the house, because I rarely do that, and you guys can probably understand that, because I'm always working. That's all I do, work, and it's not really work, because it's more fun than it is work, but it's a lot of work. So enough about me. So yesterday, if you guys were part of the live broadcast yesterday, you saw, and I brought these home with me. I remembered, thank goodness, these incredible things that we made with the surface sprays yesterday. Hello, Adam. So we made these yesterday, was with the surface sprays. This is what they look like when they're dry. Okay, so these are now completely dry. I told you guys that I wanted to show you what they look like dry. They look even more spectacular when they're dry. And I believe, Simon, you had a question yesterday about them being glossy. Hopefully the light's going to pick it up. Let me open up this other window. This might help the situation too. There's a giant window in this room. And then there's a little window that's to my left. So hopefully that will pick up. There we go. So you can see that they have, they're perfect. They have the shine onto them. And that's how they dry. So these are completely dry. And again, these are just absolutely, I mean, I can't get enough of them. I just think they are just absolutely incredible. So these are the tags. So just so you guys know, the bundles are still available. If you have not gotten the bundles yet, they are still available. But this is the tag that we're going to make today. So I made the super fun tag this morning. I could not continue putting things into the room until I created something. Do you guys ever feel like that? That you're like, I just need to make something because I've seen all of my stuff. Hello, Marcia. So I see all my stuff out, and I'm like, I need to make something. So we created with this stamp set, which is one of my favorites, which I will never ever retire. This was on the retirement list this time, but I refused to retire it. So, oh, that's okay, Simon. So here is the double embossing technique, and I'm hoping that the light is picking it up. Do you see how it's fully embossed? And I'll show you how to do this. It just would need to be heat set, Belinda. Just needs to be heat set. Hello, Pat. So this is what this looks like. Oh, speaking of the retirement, let me put this to the side for just 1 second. You guys will want to check your emails at 4 o'clock today. 4 o'clock is when the email is set to go out. And I have here in my hot little hands the retirement checklist. Do you see this? You're going to get this in your email. If you don't already sign up for our emails, make sure you can use a heat tool. I suggest the oven. I actually bought a separate little mini oven for doing the coasters. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard. Yes, Penny. Thank you. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So this is the retirement list. So there are, and the reason it didn't go out this afternoon is because we added more to it. We added more. So that's 3 pages right now. That doesn't mean that it may not be more after that. But all of these items are retiring. Now I will tell you guys. So it is set to go live at 4 o'clock as well because we had a lot of emails. Yes, the toaster oven. Yeah, the toaster oven. We got a lot of emails with folks that were upset about it being midnight tonight. So it's going to be live at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will be able to get your checkoff list as well as it will be live at 4 o'clock. Just so everybody knows that. It's going to begin being live at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tonight. Just so you know. And I'm only saying that because we got a lot of emails from folks upset that it was going to be midnight and people wouldn't be able to stay up and so on and so forth and the time differences and blah, 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 blah. So it's going to be live at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard tonight. One very, 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 very important thing to know, very important, is that everything, once it is gone, it is gone. And I say that because, I only say that because the, something, for instance, okay, so for instance, if you are a planner, which I know that most of you probably do some planning, and a lot of you may not know that we have a planner line. We've had a planner line for a little while, but I'm not a big planner, so I unfortunately didn't really talk about it too much. So we are retiring those products. With that being said, so these are some of the simple plan items that are on here. I want you guys to know that some of these simple plan items are so incredibly inexpensive that they will probably be gone in seconds. That's all I'm saying. So make sure to look and make sure, and I apologize for the shakiness. I can't wait for it to no longer be an issue. But like for instance, the pencil cases that don't have to be used just for simple planning are $2.15. $2.15. Now, tomorrow I am going to show you guys a more in-depth overview of the items. I'm going to show you guys some of the different things that I think are super, super awesome that are retiring. But even like, again, like the simple plan, like say for instance, the simple plan Easy Glide pouch. So that fits into any A7 planner. It fits into any A7 planner. And that is, I want to say, hold on, let me tell you. Because it's like, it was unbelievable. I mean, someone will probably purchase all of them because that's just the way that it works. But the Simple Plan Glider pouch that fits into any planner that is A7, any planner that's A7, is 75 cents. 75 cents. So, again, the prices are cuckoo, but it's because we have to make room for the new items that are coming in. So let's get back to the task at hand. And again, like I said, this will be coming to your email very, very, very soon. So back to the task at hand. So the surface sprays, another question a lot of you guys had was, because I always get emails and messages after we're live, which I love, what do the surface sprays look like on paper? Now, I can only say what the surface sprays are going to look like. That's okay, Georgia. What the surface sprays are going to look like on our paper, not necessarily someone else's paper. So with that being said, if you're using like a standard Nina paper, it may look different. If you're using a, like a standard, like, I don't know, any other really cardstock that's out there, like Stampin' Up! And things like that. Hello in the North Hills, Heather Collins. So it's going to look a little different on different things. But Our paper is a little bit different, and let me tell you why. Because our paper is 100-pound cover, which means it has a lot of tooth to it. It has a lot of tooth to it. Now, what does that mean? So let me show you how beautiful this turned out. So this was the rainbow. If you guys were live with me yesterday, this is the rainbow that I did yesterday. And look at how beautiful and how incredible that turned out. Now this looks wet, but it's not. It's not wet. It's just a very heavy area of the surface spray. It's not wet. So that's what it looks like. But the best part is nothing bled through. And if you don't believe me, this part here is only from this one. So this one was laying on top of this one. So it did not really bleed through. It was just this one was underneath of it. So I just, again, using this on regular paper, and it just has such a cool finish. I just absolutely love it. Yes, it won't reactivate if it gets wet, and that's something important that I'm going to show you on this tag today. So let me move all of these goodies over to the side, and let me show you, again, this tag, and then we'll get started. So this is the tag we're going to make today. Now, I already have these ones that we did yesterday. So I'm going to use these ones because they're already dry. They dried overnight. So what I do is I generally will take some of the large media tags, and I will do a whole bunch of them at one time. I'll use my spray tray, which again, you can get right now at producerno.com. Thank goodness, because you guys have been asking for it for a long time, and I'm glad that we were able to get it for you guys. But you use your spray tray. The large media tags fit into it perfectly. Any A2 size piece of paper will fit into it perfectly. So let's just go ahead and get started, shall we? So I'm going to show you first the trick that I do to get the butterflies on here. And again, if things get a little shaky, I 100% apologize. It's because the camera is on like this like rig that has a little I don't even know what you would call it. It has like a little yes, we have a spray tray. If you just go to, oh goodness, I don't think I linked it today. If you go to, let's see, bear with me one moment, and I will post the link to it. Because now I'm all set up with my computer right next to me, so I can actually post it right here. I don't have the spray tray at home, but it's the normal spray tray that I always use. It's fantastic. It has a little, it's like a silicone at the bottom, and it's really cool. So it has little feet at the bottom, so it doesn't move. I'll show it tomorrow because we have more coming in, because you guys sold us out of them in about 3 seconds. They are actually 120, Sandra. They are 120. They're 120. They're very thick. Yes, Vicky. Our first allotment sold out in about, oh goodness. Well, let's just say quickly. So I ordered 2 more cases of them that will be here Wednesday. So they will, hopefully they'll get here in time so we can get those all sent out to you guys, because you guys are loving the tray. So we're going to take this and I'm going to put it in my Misty, and I'm going to go ahead and place this down right there. And so this is a fun tip. If you're using your Misty and you're using a heavy duty piece of paper like I am, you can put, oh, my stamp stuck to it. You can put your piece of paper out of it a little bit. Do you see that? It's not hurting a thing, because this bar magnet is going to prevent it from hurting anything. Does that make sense? Yes. Oh, yes, I completely forgot to say that. But everyone, just so you know, the trays are dishwasher safe. They're dishwasher safe. So you can put them in dishwasher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my butterflies. And this is from the Butterfly Sentiment 2.0, which again, like I said, I will never retire. It's one of my absolute favorite stamps. I can't say it's my absolute favorite, but one of my absolute favorite stamps. And this is what it looks like. And of course, it has coordinating dies. We're not going to use the dies today, but I always like to let you guys know if they have coordinating dies. I just love, love, love our die packaging because it shows you something that's different about our die packaging is it actually, and I don't know if you guys, if I've ever told you guys this before, but our die packaging has like a plastic insert. So it's a little bit different. Let me pull this out of here so you can see. It has like a plastic insert, so you can see, hopefully you can see it's like a plastic insert. And this is removable tape that's in here. So you can pull this off of here, and then when you're done, you pop it right back on. And you know which one it goes to. So isn't that cool? I think that's really cool. So you know which one it goes to. So you just pop it right back on this backer, and you know which one it goes to because all you have to do is you look at, obviously, the stamp set. So here's the stamp set, and here's the dies. So we know that they match perfectly. See? And we have that with all of our dies. I think that's super cool. I mean, it's very helpful for me. Hopefully it's helpful for you too. But it's right there on your die. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place my butterflies now. Let me grab the sample so I can figure out where I want to put them. Although you can, of course, always create your own ending. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pop one right here. We'll pop this guy here. And what I'm using is the stamp that is the actual, it's actually the, it's the background. So the silhouette of the little butterflies. So you get the silhouette, then you get the inside, which is why this works perfect for double embossing, which is the technique that we're going to do today. So now I would sit here for probably an hour and try to reline these up, but we don't have that kind of time. So we're just going to run with it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these up. I'm going to try to be as gentle as I can so I'm not shaking the table a whole lot. And let me just take a look at this. I like to look at it like this. It's a little bit crooked. Well, not much. We're okay. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Brutus Monroe embossing ink, which of course is oil-based, so it's going to stay wet longer, if that makes sense. So it is going to actually... Oh, awesome, Heather. Yeah, I see a bunch of you are ordering the spray bundle as I'm live, so I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a lot of you ordering that spray bundle. So, like I said, I'm using the Brutus Monroe embossing ink. The reason that I'm doing that is because it is oil-based. So what that means is it's not going to, it's essentially not going to dry until we put something on it, which normally, and you guys may know this, and you may have done this before, but if you were using a normal everyday ink or a dye-based ink under this isn't going to work that well because you're going to get some smushing and some movement because, again, the dye-based inks are generally going to react with water. These dye-based sprays, are not going to. So let me lift this up. I'm going to move my Misty out of the way. Oh, there's a little cardinal sitting right outside of my window. It's literally sitting. I wish I could turn the camera so you could see it sitting right outside of the window. Okay, so I hope you can see. Do you see how that's now embossed on there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some icicle embossing powder, and I'm going to take a little piece of, just a piece of scratch paper. You can mix the sprays with water, Vicky. That's something that's really cool. You can mix the sprays with water if you would like. See, this is what's so interesting about the Surface products. You can mix the Surface products with water, but they're still going to be permanent once they're dry. And I know that sounds crazy, but they will still be permanent once they're dry, which is really, really cool and really, really unique about them. So you can use them to watercolor. You can use them in all sorts of different ways. So that's what's really different and really unique about them. So you guys, if you watched yesterday's live, you saw me spray these. I did nothing special to them. That is my mermaid project waiting for the mail. Oh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add some of this. This is the icicle embossing powder. I'm just going to tap that off. Now you'll notice I got a little bit here from my fingerprint. That's okay. I'm just going to brush it off with my finger. If you, if that makes you nervous, you can use a brush. I just always just use my finger. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit more for the second round. And I bring home these giant bottles of embossing powder. So, oh, and I just realized I just gave you guys a sneak peek by accident because I used a piece of scratch paper that you guys weren't supposed to see. I just gave you guys a sneak peek by accident. This is actually, if you guys get the subscription box, if you guys get the inspiration box, this is a coordinating stencil for next month. So that is that's my that's a sneak peek for you guys by accident. So that's a coordinating stencil, excuse me, for next month's inspiration box. So surprise. Okay, so now I'm just tapping off the excess. And again, if you get excess in some places you don't want it, it's not going to hurt anything. It's going to be just fine. Now I'm going to heat up my yes, next month's is really, really fun. I can't wait for you guys to see it. So I'm going to heat up my embossing powder now, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's heated up. Just want to make sure you get it all saturated. And you'll be able to tell if it's not heated up or if it hasn't heated all the way through. And I'll show you how in a second. But you want to make sure that you really, really get it all heated up. And then you want to wait a moment. You want to wait a moment for it to dry. Well, and it's not really going to dry, so to speak. It's just going to cool. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like. So hopefully you can see. You can see. Do you see how cool that is? This would be cool just doing as a background. See, you can. How cool would that be if that was just a background and when the light hits it, it's, you know, you can see those butterflies. I think that's super cool. But alas, we are going to continue on doing more things. So you may ask, Christopher, how did you create this really, really cool kind of texture and different look to that? Well, I'm going to show you. So surface sprays, let's go back. Surface sprays are a liquid form of the surface inks, right? So the surface inks essentially are it's a chalk-based pigmented ink. It's a tribrid. It's chalk, dye, and pigment. So it's a very different type of ink. And the reason it works so well is because it's permanent, but not permanent if you don't want it to be. Meaning before it's dry, you can do stuff with it. So what that means is our surface sprays are going to do the exact same thing. So if I combined, and this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but still I think a lot of fun. When I combined a surface ink, meaning the Oz surface ink, with the surface spray underneath, if I was using a regular everyday dye-based spray, can anyone tell me what would happen to this underneath? Can anyone tell me what would happen underneath here if I were to use just a regular everyday dye-based spray? And then I tried to do some inking on top of it. Does anybody know what would normally happen? And I can't wait because this is the way I'm going to do my classes. So, yes, Kara, yes. So this is how I'm going to do my classes. So would you guys like this kind of a format to do classes? Like if I sold a class and only you guys that purchased the class would get the link to come in and see the live, and I would teach you guys a whole bunch of different things. This is the way that I think that I would do the class. I think this is a great way to do it. So, okay, perfect. Because what I think I'm going to do is also put together a kit for you guys. So you'll purchase the kit and then you'll come to the class. But what's really cool is when you go to a normal class, you have to try to remember everything. With these classes, you will not ever lose the class. You'll never lose it in your memory because you'll be the only ones that have the link. So I think that would be really, really cool. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the Oz ink and I'm going to show you something very magical. So I'm taking a blending tool, and you don't have to use too much because our pads are felt and they're raised, so they're really, really cool. It normally would activate it. It would normally activate it. And it would also just turn to mud. So let me show you how cool this is. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start adding I'm gonna try not to get too groovy here. So I'm gonna add some of the surface ink on top. So do you see what's happening here? Do you guys kind of see what's happening? And I'm trying to be as gentle as I can, not to shake you guys too much. And that's why I can't wait for my new camera rig to get here. But can you guys see what's happening here? I'm gonna bring it up closer in case you can't. But I'm just moving the pigment around. And of course I'm using the Brutus Monroe, craft mat here. So I'm just gonna continue moving this around and just spreading it out so it looks a little bit more natural. And then I'm gonna bring it up to show you what's happening. Okay, so let me move this all out of the way. I'm gonna grab, oh, she did. That's awesome. So I'm just gonna use just a dry tissue. Then I'm gonna show you what happened here. Okay, so I just used a dry tissue and I wanna show you, whoops, let me get all this off of and I apologize again, I know that it's shaking, I'm sorry. But let me show you what happened. Do you see how cool that is? Can you guys see how the ink did not cover up the butterflies? Can you see that? I'm hoping you can. Can you see that? So the other thing that's really cool about that, not just that it did not cover up the butterflies, but do you notice this ink all under here did not budge? Do you see that? I was literally just blending that within an inch of its life and it did not move. It's the exact same way that it was when it dried. Isn't that cool? I just think that's super cool. I want to teach something like this as a class. I think it would be fun. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm going to ever so gently heat up the surfacing because we want the surfacing to dry. Now again, the surfacing will dry on its own, but we just want to make sure that we give it a fair chance to dry because we're going to be going right over top of this. So while I'm letting that sit there for a second, I want to show you one that I did with some gargoyle earlier. Look at how cool that is. I used the gargoyle ink and I didn't blend it out all the way because I still have big plans for this one. But isn't that cool how it did the kind of the same thing? And again, this is with the surface sprays, Oh, awesome, D. I'm glad you love your mat. What I do with these tags is I actually make them into cards. So ours are 4x8. So what I will do is I will usually do both sides of the tag, okay? And then I will score it at the 4 mark up here, and then I fold this down. Maybe we'll do that as a class. Would you guys like that as a class? Would you guys like that as a class if I taught you how to make these tags into cards? I think that would be a really fun class. And maybe use some surface sprays and stuff. I think that would be a really cool class. Yeah, let's do that. I'll do a class where I teach you how to turn these into cards. I think that'll be fun. Okay, so now our surface ink is completely dry. Awesome, Ronnie. Awesome, Amanda. Okay, so we'll do a class on it. So let me show you here now. So that is how it looks with that. But now we're going to take it one step further, because why not, right? Why not take it one step further? So have you guys ever heard of, yes, I love working with tags. Oh, hello, Monique. I like working with tags to do card fronts, like Adam said. Also, I like to die cut things out of these tags, and I'll show you that in just a second. I'm going to show you how to die cut because we're already at 29 minutes, so I'm going to do, we'll go to an hour today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plop this back down, and you guys might know what I'm fixing to do. So I'm going to pull, and if May was here, she would laugh at me because I say fixin' all the time, and she's like, you are a Southern boy, even though you were not born in the South. She says it to me all the time. Okay, so I'm going to move this. Actually, let me move this down here this time to give it a little extra zhuzh. And let's place, Now, all you have to do is you just have to place these right back, and the light is not my friend right now, but you're just going to place them right on top of where the other butterflies were. And I promise you, you're not going to be able to see it on camera, but I promise you, I'm placing them right where they belong because you can see much better. The weight of the tags are 120 pounds. 120 pounds. Yes, they're 120, Sandra. Did I say 110 before? I apologize if I did. They are 120. They are super thick. Super, super thick. Yeah, the jumbo media tags, you guys, they're probably one of my, they're something that sits on my desk. If you want to know one of the top 5 things that are on my desk all the time, jumbo media tags are one of them. And we're going to start doing them in larger packs, just so you guys know. We're going to have them in a larger pack configuration. Okay, Sandra, I just thought maybe I did an oopsie whoopsie. I apologize. Okay, so now I'm going to take the embossing ink again. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen double embossing before, but it's one of my absolute favorite things to do. And I'm going to show you what that means in a second. Double embossing, you have to have kind of a special stamp to do it. These stamps being one of those items. These stamps are one of those things that, oh, and I don't think I brought home my purple tape. I'm thinking ahead. Sorry, I'm thinking ahead. Because I was going to show you how to die cut these, but I'll show you how to do that too. So double embossing is a very different, very unique technique, and it's one of my favorite techniques. I'm going to show you what that means in just a second. Hello in Texas. Yeah, the minis. There's also we also have regular media tags. We have the white ones, and I'm so sorry that everything is shaking. I'm so sorry. Again, it's not going to shake anymore soon, I promise. So I'm going to pull this up, and again, this is just the inside of the butterfly, but I can't wait to show you what I'm fixing to do. So here's your sneak peek again. Here's your sneak peek again of last month's, of next month's inspiration box stencil, one of the add-ons, and now I'm going to grab, oh dear, where did I put my Raven embossing powder? Oh no, and Heather's not here. Heather's not at my house to help me. I just had it. And I thought I was so prepared to do this live with you guys. I literally just had it in my hand. Oh, found it. Found it. Here we go. Yes, they are a white, how they start out. You'll see they're a white. See? They're not as manila. Found them. Okay, D. I think that it dries. Yes, thank you, Ronnie. So I'm taking some of the Raven embossing powder. And again, like I said, I'm the luckiest guy in the world because my embossing powders are 2-ounces. So if you're wondering why my jars look so big, it's because mine are 2-ounce jars because I use it so often that I get myself 2-ounce jars. I get myself the 2-ounce jars. Which might be something if you guys are interested in. We might do 2-ounce jars at some point. I don't know. But this is like our regular jar, which is a 1-ounce, and then this is the ones that I bring home. Because at our embossing bar at Brutus Monroe, at our retail store, you can get them this size. You can actually fill them this size if you want to. We have this size, and then we have the smaller ones too. Okay. So now is when the magic is going to happen. Are you guys ready? This is what's really, really cool. Really, really cool and let me just tap again. And again, with a really, really, really good embossing ink, you can do this over and over again, and it's not going to fall off. Do you hear how hard I was hitting? I do know the right person, Adam. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat this up, and this is when the magic is going to happen. So you'll know when it's all heated through because it will all become shiny. But the really cool thing about the double embossing technique, and I'll show you in just 1 second, once it's all heated up, is that what happens in this, I don't know that this will work with all embossing powders. I just know that it works with ours because I've never tried it. I've never tried it with other embossing powders. But what it does, and I'm hoping that the light's going to catch this, it reconstitutes, right? I know, that's what I say. That's what I say too, Monique. It reconstitutes the embossing powder underneath, and it becomes one piece. Isn't that incredible? I want to double emboss everything. I want to double emboss literally everything. Look at how cool that is. And again, I don't know that it will work with all embossing powders. I just know that it works with ours because I've done it multiple times. But isn't that spectacular? And let me get close so you can still see there's still so much detail there. Isn't that amazing? I just love it because it almost looks like it almost creates like an enamel sticker. Do you know what I mean? Yes, layered stamps would work very well with this technique as well. That could be fun to try out some because we do possibly wink, wink, nudge, nudge have some layered stamps coming. Maybe that would be something interesting to try. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my my sentiment from the set here, and I'll give you a quick tip of how I do the sentiment. So I'm just gonna rip off. Was a giant piece of the surface board. The surface board is something that I use super, super, super often. It is retiring just for now, but I use the surface board a lot. So we'll be using surface board in upcoming techniques as well. Now, in the respect of it won't be in like an inspiration box or something like that in the future. It just simply means that it's retiring for now to make room for more things. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to die cut. Whoops, things are flying across the room. I'm gonna die cut. I'm just trying to be very careful so I'm not super, super shaky again. You guys know I get super concerned with being super, super shaky because I don't want you guys to get sick. So I'm going to take my tag, and I'm going to take the Brutus Renault foundation dies. These are the stitched circles. These are the stitched circles. So these are not retiring. I can tell you that much. They're not retiring. But I love the stitched circles, and that's what we're going to use on this guy today. So let me grab my other plate, which I just saw 2 seconds ago, and I was like, why is this plate sitting here? Here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this right on top here. And these die cut like a dream. Yes, and we have it in 2 sizes. We have it in 5x7, and we have it in, whoops, my goodness, you guys are going to, it's like an earthquake. We have it in 5x7 and 12x12. You guys aren't going to know what to do once the camera stops shaking. Once it's attached to the ceiling, you guys are going to be like, my goodness. Okay. So let me go ahead and pop this guy out. And of course, do not throw this away. I have my other one from earlier, because how gorgeous would these be? I mean, how gorgeous would this be? My goodness, the things I want to make with those. So, okay. So now here's my little cheat sheet. So what I do is I will take this, and I'll just take a pen. You can use a pencil if you'd like. I'm just using a regular everyday pen, Virtual Wallet, PNC Bank, which is a bank here. Not my bank, but it's a bank here. And I'm just going to draw that circle in the center, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down. So let me go ahead on, and I'm just going to cut it. It doesn't have to be super close because we can always trim it down later. And the surface board, which is super, super thick, it will cut down with your standard trimming tool. And again, I use the surface board, on tons and tons of stuff. But like I said, we have to make room for fall and holiday. So let me move this out of the way, and let me move this piece out of the way. Okay, so now what I do is I know that this circle is pretty much centered, right? It die cuts beautifully. I'll actually show you. Let me show you real quick. Let me grab a piece. I'll show you how it die cuts. Let me show you. And you can even do it with intricate die cuts, but I'm shaking again. So let me just die cut this piece out lickety split for you so you can see how beautifully it die cuts. And here's just a leftover piece, just a little piece. So I'm gonna go ahead on in, and another thing that you guys might be excited about, hopefully, is that since I now have my studio set up again at home, I'm going to have regular everyday YouTube videos too. Because I know there's a lot of folks that don't like the live videos. hold on, let me just move this to the side. There are quite a few folks that likes the pre-recorded, edited, none of the mumbo jumbo, just right to the project. So I understand that, so I will do some of those too. Oh, well, is that any connotation to how it die cuts? I hope so. Is that any, does that help your, your knowing how well it die cuts? So there you go. So it literally just fell. I mean, it just fell right out of the die. Now, of course, our dies have a little bit of a coating on it. You can see how this side is not shiny and this side is. So stuff falls right out of our dies naturally, which is really, really awesome. And again, the same thing with these little postcards in here. You can just take it and it's the double-sided tape, so you just pop it right back on there and get your cargo sleeve and put it right back in the cargo sleeve. I believe we are sold out of these cargo sleeves this size, but we do have them coming back. I just have to make sure we get them ordered. Yeah, it's really hard to find that, Vicky, and I learned that not that long ago that it's really hard to find that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up behind my tag just to make sure that it's going to fit. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good about, maybe we'll do it this way. Yeah, I think that way looks good. So all I do is I flip this over, okay? And I know that the center of it is where I have to put my sentiment. So I'm going to grab my Brutus Monroe circle block. If you guys don't have this block, my goodness, another thing that is on my table all the time. It's great because anyone can hold it, even my big man crafty hands, as well as dainty hands can hold it, and it's etched so that you can make sure that your sentiment's perfectly in the center. So I'll show you here. I'm just going to place it here and I can see that it's getting perfectly, whoops, unless it sticks to my finger, perfectly centered because you can see through it. Do you see that? And of course it has all the Brutus Monroe branding and stuff on it, but yeah. So now I'm just going to take some of the Brutus Monroe detail ink. Now this is our ink that is safe for pretty much anything. It's safe for watercoloring, it's safe for alcohol inks, it's you know, that's my go-to black ink. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pop this right in the center here. And there we go. And this is one of my favorite sayings. It says, if nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies. I just love that. So now I'm going to take my tag and I'm going to grab some adhesive, just an adhesive runner. You can use wet glue if you would like. As you guys all know, I rarely use wet glue unless I'm using like a surface board to a surface board or something like that. And then this is the easiest way to do this. So I just flip it over and I center it. And just pop it down. And there you go. And if you're using, again, the Brutus Monroe Media Mat, like I am, nothing will stick to it, so you won't have to worry. And then, of course, you can go in here with a hole punch and punch out that area there. That doesn't really bother me, but there is our finished tag. And again, this would be something that I would put on like a big gift. So if you have a big gift that you want to give to somebody, that's what I would use this for. So I would put this on a large gift. That's what I would do, or turn it again into a, you can turn it into a beautiful card. And like I said, we'll do a class where I teach you how to do a card like that. But here's our other one. The Albuster Ink embossing powders look amazing on the surface board. Oh yes, I didn't even think about that. So here's the two cards. Okay, and I want to show you another quick technique. So let's stamp out our little, where did that go? Here's the Misty. I'm going to stamp out on this surface board. And this time I'm going to spread them out a little bit. And I'll show you why. And this is a way to use the tags. So think of your tags as cardstock. Oh, awesome, Dana. That makes me excited too. So what you're going to do is you are going to take this and think of your tag as cardstock. Once you start thinking of tags as cardstock, you'll use them much, much more, if that makes sense. If you start thinking of your tags as cardstock, you'll use them every day. You'll use tags every day. Just think of it as a half sheet of cardstock. It's just, I love creating on tags because it's a smaller footprint and you can use it as card bases because again, they are 4 by 8, these large tags. So if you use the large tags and they're 4 by 8, think about that. You could take it and on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card, you could do 4 by 5 1/4 and you already have your card front. Does that make sense? And I would use this as the top of a card front too. I think this would be spectacular as the top of a card front. Put a little ribbon, a little twine in there. Okay, so now let me grab the embossing ink again. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go ahead, and again, I'm just thinking of this as, remember, as cardstock. So I'm not, whoops, let me move this over here just a little bit. There we go. It was just getting in my way of stamping that one top part. I mean, it wasn't really getting in the way, it just wasn't. So, yep, perfect. And now let me grab my embossing. Actually, I have another little piece of here. Another little piece of here. Oh no, Belinda, okay. We're almost done. I'm just gonna add and show you how you can die cut these. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some of the raven to this one. Oh, I'm doing it upside down. My goodness. There we go. And I just do the pour technique where I just kind of let it hit. There we go. And if you get a little bit too much in some areas, that's okay. It's just part of the charm. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this back into my little jar here, or I guess the big jar. Yes, it makes really cool tags. Okay, so now I'm going to heat this up. And it's going to heat up super quick. Because again, since our embossing powders are super, super finely milled, they heat up very quickly. And they also are super, super, super shiny. I mean, super shiny. Yes, custom for the person you're, absolutely. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one and maybe that one. Because it doesn't really matter. Whoops, let me open up my dies here. So let's see. So see how easy this is? This matches this one. So that's the die I'm going to use. So let me grab my die cutting machine again. Yes, custom for the person you're giving the gift to. I love that. Plus, you guys are also going to be able to see a much larger section of my desk instead of this tiny little one, because the camera will be about 3 feet above my desk, which is exciting as well. I can't wait for it to get here. I can't wait for it to get here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead on in, and I'm going to place my tag. And then I'm going to place my die. And remember, the Brutus Monroe black dies are always the dies that coordinate with something. That's the way to tell them apart. It's always the dies that coordinate. So I'm going to move this, and I'm just going to pop this down. I really wish I had my purple tape at home, but I don't, so we're all just going to say a little prayer. And we'll run that through. Actually, I'm just going to do this one. Oh, and it looks like it shifted just a little bit. Oh, maybe it didn't. Actually, that looks pretty darn good. Okay, so we'll do a second one. Let's do this one here so you can see a difference. Let me grab the die for it, which is, I believe, this one. I don't have my compare and contrast. I believe it's this one. Let me look at my stamps. I have to look at my, oh, nope, it's this one. Thank goodness I had the picture on the stamps. Belinda, some of the retirement items have already been priced on the website. So some of them have already been repriced, but they are not in the categories until 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is when you will receive the email. And the email will give you the checkbox so you can check things off, but it will also give you, whoopsies, it will also give you the link to all of the items. All of the items. At 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. And also, if you guys place an order of $100 or more, you get the create your own ending pin for free. I don't know if I mentioned that. That'll be in the email though. That will be in the email though. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this through. So if you guys haven't gotten the pin yet, or if you want to get another one for a friend, you get it free with an order of $100 or more. Which I have a feeling, because during retirement time, there's a lot of folks that hit that $100 mark very easily. Very easily. So $100 or more, you get that pin. So let's go ahead and again, if you've already got one, get one for a friend. Or put it on 2 different things. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so I'll pull this out of the way. Let me put my die back on here so I don't lose it. And look at these now. Yes, you could trade. Absolutely, D. Look at how cool those look. Imagine the possibilities. So, yes, the limited edition pin you get free if you spend $100. Yes. And that would put us into our final quantities. So look, oh, I just think that's cool. Yes, buy extras to trade. That is a great idea. Because once they're gone, they're gone. So once they're gone, we're not reordering the same ones. We will always have different ones. Always have different ones. Look at how cool that is. I just can't get over it. And I know you guys think I'm such a silly goose because I literally will sit here and look at it because I just think they're so cool. So that is all I have for today. Is there anything that you guys have any questions about? Any questions about the retirement sale? Anything that I can help you guys with before I head off? This pin, you get if you spend $100 this upcoming week, so it's all week. You get this pin. No, we did not do the class info will be sent out via email, and I think we'll probably only do like 50 spots. Yes, I am definitely going to be doing a surface class. No, the surface spray class will be online. It'll be here. We'll do it here, but you'll get a special link. We could do a surface spray class in store too, but I want to do one online because I know there's a lot of you guys that can't come to the store. But this is the pin, and it won't come on this. This is just the this is the way they get packaged when they're sent to us. They come on like a really, really pretty. They come on a really pretty, like it's a Brutus Monroe backer. Like if you look on the website, it's what it looks like. You'll see, it's on that backer. So yeah. That's okay. Maybe someday, Vicky, you can come see us at the store. So, again, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is about 1 hour from now, is when the, yes, it begins today at 4, Becky. Today at 4. You will get the email. It will go out. Like I said, there are quite a few items on here that are going to go very quickly. For instance, the embossing folders. Our original embossing folders are officially retiring. The embossing folders are going to be $1. I know, $1. So $1 is what all the embossing folders will be. So all of the Brutus Monroe embossing folders will be $1. Now, I can't say that those embossing folders aren't going to go in 33 seconds. I can tell you we do still have quite a few of them. But even if you want, I mean, this is a time to get stuff for friends, get stuff for, crafty friends, get 2 of them. So if something goes wrong with one of them, you always have another one. I mean, for $1, I'd buy 5, to tell you the honest goodness truth. But things like some of the sequins, not all, yes, for Christmas D, some of the sequins are going to be retiring. Those are going to be gone in like 10 seconds. There's a lot of things that are on here that I know are going to go very, very quickly. Like the Brutus Monroe non-stick palette, I believe, now don't let me, I'm not going to quote incorrectly because I'll get in trouble. Hold on. The non-stick palette, which you guys, I don't have one here, but I'll show you if there's any left tomorrow, I'll show you. The non-stick palette, which is our palette that has 8 wells in it or 10 wells in it, and it's non-stick. So if you put our inks and stuff in it, it will just like scoop out. They're 50 cents. I know. That was a pause. That was a pause for a gasp. 50 cents. So also, if you guys use we've carried them for a while, but we haven't really talked about them on the website. But the brush, do you guys use the sponge brushes? You know, the black sponge brushes that you use on like all sorts of different stuff. I mean, I use them on all sorts of different stuff, but the black sponge brushes that are, again, I think I use them on like canvases and like just doing like quick washes and stuff. Those are, and it's something that we've had for a while, but we don't really talk about it, obviously, because it's silly because it's not something we use all the time. Those are 10 cents. 10 cents for the foam brushes. 10 cents. Another one of those things that I'd be like, I'm getting 100 of them. It's another thing that, those types of things, this is the time to stock up on them. So yeah, so again, like a bunch of the city sidewalks are retiring. The Jennifer and the Leah Mandela dyes, make sure those are both retiring, and those you'll want to make sure to grab because they're the lowest price that we've ever done them. I don't think they've actually ever gone on sale. But the Jennifer and Leah Mandela dyes are going to be on sale for. Let me look. And again, if there's anything left tomorrow, I will come back on and talk to you guys about it. But the Jennifer and Leah Mandela dyes are down to um, they are down to 19.99 from 34.99. And those dyes, you guys, they are huge. They're huge dyes. I mean, they fit on a full 6x6 sheet of paper. They are, for 19.99, it is that's a crazy price for them. Is all I'll say. A crazy price. That's it's. I'll say that it's a crazy price. That's all I'll say. So yeah, there will be a separate tab. Yes, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So 1 hour from now is when you will get it. The link will be in the email. So at the top of the email, there will be a link, and that link is what you'll click on. There'll be like tons and tons of different pictures where you can click on the actual link to go in and grab the sale things. Again, there are over 84 things. Actually, I think there's about 100 things now that are retiring, most of which will not last until tomorrow. They are slashed on the items. So, Belinda, if you're already looking at the website, again, like I said, guys, the items will not fully 100% be converted over to the prices until 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today. What happens is our system slowly but surely over the course of the day will begin changing the prices on the website. So you'll see that some of the prices have already begun being reduced. Normally, I don't announce to you guys that they're slowly being reduced because it happens kind of behind the scenes. But since there's over 100 products that it's happening on, the system does it slowly but surely. Yes, Amanda, great question. If you put some of the items in your cart now, I mean, I don't know if everybody saw Amanda's. The sale starts then at 4 o'clock. It starts at 4 o'clock. The reason we're not doing the sale at midnight anymore is we had so many folks that were upset that we were doing the sale at midnight. So because there were so many folks that were upset that we were doing the sale at midnight, that is why I'm changing it to 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today to give everyone a fair chance. A fair chance to actually go and grab the different things that they want to grab. So that is everything that I have. Actually, I don't even know how to block anybody. Kara, I'm gonna have to. I think Kara, I can make you like an admin or something. I don't know how to make you. I think I can make you an admin so that you can. You can. Let me see. Actually, Kara. Actually, I have an idea. Hold on one second. I just figured something out, Kara. I just added you as a moderator. There we go, Kara. I don't know what that does, but I added you as a moderator. I don't know what that does, but I added you as a moderator. Actually, Adam, I'm going to add you as a moderator too. I didn't know that I was able to do that, but I don't know what that's going to do. Um, Now you're both. Oh yeah, it's. Uh, I'm not worried about it, Penny. Believe me, I've been called much worse before breakfast. It does not bother me. That is a part of, unfortunately, life, and is a part of being in the public eye. It is what it is. You know, the more folks that watch your videos and the more folks that are around, unfortunately, the more that you will see that. So I didn't think that I would need to have admins or moderators this soon into everything, but Adam and Kara, I added you both. Added you both as my moderators. So hopefully you guys can help me out if there's any issues. So awesome. So thank you guys all so much for being a part of my life. Just a real quick recap. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today, about an hour from now, you will be getting. Oh yeah, it doesn't bother me, Becky. Oh my goodness, if you guys knew the things that happen when you're in the public eye when I first started. Oh my goodness, it was not a very fun time, is all I'll say. But like I said, it's a part of used to bother me, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, why is somebody saying something mean about me? But they're coming onto my channel to say mean things to me, and it just doesn't make sense. So it does not bother me. So, but okay, again, 4 o'clock today. Make sure to grab your items, and I will see you guys all very, very soon. Remember to always create your own ending. Let me know if there's anything that I can help you guys with, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.